Hello, today we're going to be disinfecting our Bionaire W6 home humidifier, which is a process that I go through once a month that involves mixing half a cup of bleach with a gallon of water, and then I'll pour half a gallon in this tank, half a gallon in that tank, let it set for 5 minutes, and then install them on the tray as I normally would, let that set for 5 minutes. And that should disinfect the tanks as well as the lids and everything. Eventually the bleach is probably going to degrade these rubber parts, but I've had this for several years now. It hasn't been a problem, and I think it's important. So I'm going to replace the humidifier if I have to, but I want to keep it clean, and so I do this once a month. On a weekly basis, I sanitize it, which is the same process, only instead of a half a cup, I would use just 2 teaspoons. But and that's something that you can decide. If you can research this and find several different recipes for disinfecting, sanitizing, depending on the surface and what results you want. But for this purpose, half a cup to a gallon or 2 teaspoons per gallon is what I've decided on. So I'm going to get that done, and then we'll look at putting it back together. Alright, so we got our solution mixed up and put into the tanks. I wore safety glasses and gloves because bleach is kind of nasty stuff. You want to be careful with it. I also wore clothes that I don't care if I was to get a little bleach on them also. So we'll let that set for 5 minutes and then put it in the tray and get that disinfected as well. Alright, so we got our tanks installed just like we normally would in the tray here, and that way the bleach water passes over everything that it would typically pass over. And I got a good strong smell of bleach, which is good. If you're not smelling bleach, then you're not putting enough in to do any good. So I've got the little float thing in here because it needs to be sanitized too. So I'm going to let that set for 5 minutes, even though I'm using the same water that I used in the tanks, but it's a good strong mix, so I think it'll be fine. Let that set for 5 minutes and then put it all back together. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes, and the last thing I'm going to sterilize with our bleach water is the air chamber. This is after the air is pushed over the wicks and gets the moisture in it. It goes up this, you can see, I hope, down to the exit vent there. There's the fan right there. So I'm just going to soak a sponge in that water and just wipe over these surfaces, and then I'm going to be putting this unit back on just like it typically would, set and run it for about 5 minutes without the wicks, because I don't know how water with that much bleach in it would affect the wicks. They might have, I know they're coated with something to prevent help prevent bacteria and stuff, so we don't want that to clash. So but the fumes coming off of that should have a disinfecting nature to it also. So hopefully this was helpful to you, and if so, please give me a like and maybe subscribe. Thank you.